the military, it's not that they don't, you're not being taught to live on your own, but as a matter of fact, the military can't afford you to think about living on your own. The reason being is because there's a hierarchy and there is a paradigm for which you have to fall underneath, so that when they say take that hill, you're not contemplating something else other than to taking that hill.
Right.
So there's a leader there, right. There's a leader follower, there's authority that's all in. There's a whole thing about being able to get people to do what you need them to do. And the military is very good on giving you enough autonomy to do what you need to do the way you need to do it. As they say, we're not going to tell you how to crack that nut, but you still got to crack it.
Crack the nut. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but when the reason why you get that 24 months in that transition is to be prepared to go to live on your own, to go to do your thing. But the problem with that is that transition doesn't become proactive on the service member's behalf. And they can literally procrastinate to one day they wake up and they've got 60 days to get the heck out of the military. And before you know it, it's too late. Because all that other time they've been contemplating, they've been talking, days go by, weeks go by, months go by. And what was 24 months is now 12 months. What was 12 months is now 6 months. And what was 6 months is now 6 days. And you're like panicking and don't know who to talk to. And the next thing you know is you're packing up and you're calling everybody and saying, hey, look, I'm on my way home. You mind if I sleep on your couch for a little while? You mind if I come home, mom and dad, and stay in the basement for a little while? I promise I won't be long, and I'll be looking for a job. And before you know it, and I'm just telling you what I've seen and what goes on. And before you know it, that individual can come home and they can do all right for a little while, or someone can come home and you think they're doing all right, and they're literally depressed. Yeah. They're literally going through some other things. So to get back on track, what we're talking about and what Billy's talking about is that being trainable and being a part of this team, if we can get to you before you leave, there are things that we help you with and get through before you wake up and go, well, you know what, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it and who I'm going to do it with. But you know what? Doggone it. Military could have done a better job. Whoa, wait a minute. You've got some skin in this game too.
Right.
But here's how we, as the Lone Lions, can bring you into our pride so that we can help you help yourself. And you know what? We'll also, when we're done with you, you can decide to leave the pride or you can decide to stay along with the pride. But one way or another, you will be prepared to go out and go be on your own.
I guarantee you there's mortgage companies across the country who'll take you.
The preparedness, like you just said, the preparedness to take control of your own destiny at that point in your life when you're facing all that uncertainty, man, it almost sounds too good to be true.
So Bill, let's hear your notes on being trainable, because I know time-wise you got like 20 minutes here, and this is actually a fantastic segue, and I didn't really hear this before, but I'm hearing it differently now from what you guys are saying, that if someone took, let's say, the being trainable course, the training that we could provide for people, in the first month, let's say, before their 2-year out of through TAP,
right?
What do you think is possible, and what are some of the distinctions you could say you got from the course? What are the distinctions you actually got? And I'll say this last sentence, because everybody throws around, hey, you could be in charge of your destiny. Hey, you could change your mindset.
It's a buzz term.
Yeah, which is useful.
Yeah.
But I know, and I think you know at this point, I'm very clear that, but that's nice, but the distinctions that are actually embedded like being a fully functioning person and being able to have a conversation with
Right.
anyone, anywhere, anytime, anyhow, about anything, without throwing a tantrum, without doing the silent treatment, without walking away, without getting angry, without all those things that are, when you do those things, if you're a functioning person, and at least if you're working with one of us, whatever your reaction is, if you're willing to have the conversation with me, that reaction is the yellow brick road to distinguish what do you need to complete to go be powerful and take full advantage of TAP.
Absolutely.
Take full advantage of your military experience. Take full advantage of what's available in the entrepreneur world, the mortgage world, whatever the business world. But you got to handle those fundamental, being a functional person in all areas of life.
Absolutely.
And so
That's actually speaking of distinctions in my notes here, what I have here is, what you were just talking about, section